Welcome to May I Borrow Your Glasses video tutorial series, and today we have Tracy Podzimek from ELT Insurance Services who's going to talk to us about a type of health insurance, and that's the HSA, or the Health Savings Account. Tracy, tell us about HSAs.
So an HSA is a part of one type of consumer-directed health plans, and the idea behind an HSA is to get the consumer engaged in their health care the same way that they would be engaged in shopping for a car or a new flat-screen TV. And as we as consumers really pay attention to the price of health care, we then choose the option that may be less expensive that works best for us, or maybe we choose not to have some services done that aren't absolutely necessary. Under an HSA style arrangement, it combines a high deductible health plan, typically a PPO, with a health savings account through a bank. So there are two pieces. The underlying health plan, that health plan would work very similar to a traditional PPO, and the other piece is the actual bank account. The advantage with an HSA is that individuals have the option to set aside dollars into the bank account on a tax-free or tax-deductible basis. Those dollars that are in their bank account then can be used to fund health care. So in a practical example, the high deductible health plan that you have may have a deductible of $2,000. The plan typically won't pay for any services until the deductible is met, with the exception of preventive care. So if you're enrolled under an HSA and you've contributed money into your bank account on a pre-tax basis, so you're getting tax savings, you can use those dollars to fund all of your medical care until the deductible is met, at which point the plan will start paying their portion of services. The money that goes into the HSA rolls over from year to year, so you never lose it. You don't have a use it or lose it provision like you do with a flexible spending account plan. And many financial institutions offer investment opportunities when those dollars reach certain thresholds.
So it sounds like an HSA has a lot of advantages, especially if you can help select your provider. Maybe you can find a lower cost provider with an HSA, save some of your own money, but also save the carrier, the insurance carrier, money as well.
That's right. And just as one example, here in San Diego, MRIs, there's quite a range in how much an MRI may cost. Anywhere from about $800 to $1,600, depending on the facility that's providing that MRI, and the service is essentially the same. So if we as consumers know what exactly those services cost, and we know that we're paying the bulk of that service up front until we meet the deductible, we may opt to go to the lower priced place for that service. Not only does that save us money, but it saves the plan money. And in theory, if everyone is engaged in their healthcare choices in the same fashion, it will help to reduce the future premium increases that we've been seeing from year to year.
Okay, and health savings accounts are relatively new, aren't they?
They are. They've really started to gain traction within the last 5 to 7 years or so. We're seeing more and more employers offer them as an option for employees.
Okay, so as a small business owner, an HSA might be easier or harder for me to implement.
It's certainly more difficult because there are more moving pieces. Insurance in itself is very complicated, and I think employees don't always understand the different components, which again is why we typically recommend not even offering just one plan. Offer multiple plan choices to your employees. Partner with a broker who can help you educate your employees on what the difference is, and allow your employees to make their own decision on what plan works best for them and their families. In many cases, an HSA might work great. You could have somebody who's been participating in an HSA style plan. They don't use it very often. They go in for preventive care. It's free. 3 years later, they may have $5,000 or $6,000 sitting in the HSA account that's just rolling forward year to year. And should something happen in the future where they actually do need to come out of pocket to meet their deductible, they already have money sitting in the bank to be able to offset those costs.
It sounds like it's a really big advantage for an HSA. You also mentioned that preventative care was free under an HSA. Is that the same or similar or different than an HMO or a PPO?
Yes. Interestingly enough, now with healthcare reform, the services that the plans pay, whether it's an HMO, HSA, or PPO, in terms of preventive care are the same. However, the HSA style plans were the first to adopt free preventive care. So even before healthcare reform, under an HSA arrangement, preventive care is always free. We wanted to incentivize folks to get in and get their preventive care done, hopefully catch anything that might be brewing before it becomes a large claim down the road.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Tracy. We appreciate it. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.